Hello, and thanks for joining us today. Today, I'm joined by my guest, Emily Graham from the Agent Design Kit. Hi, Emily, how are you doing?
Yeah, well, good, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, very well, thank you. So we're talking to you today about social media, but more about agents needing that extra helping hand on social media. I think it's fair to say that any agent operating in 2021 knows the value of the reach of a good social media audience. Any agent that knows a little bit more about those audiences will know that they don't nurture themselves. So having a Facebook account and shoving a picture of a house up with a link to Rightmove or any other sort of portal and going, this is 3 beds, it's 200,000, come and get it, isn't quite doing justice to both your brand or your audience. Every social media platform has its own algorithm, and they like content, and and the public like good looking content. And I meet a lot of agents, as I'm sure you do, that have the same problem. We're all extremely time poor. And one of the things that we do in agency is that we wear a salesman's hat, but we also wear a marketer's hat, and we are a sort of jack of all trades. And until recently, it's been really difficult to get on top of keeping your social media content design looking fresh and on message all the time. And that's where you guys come in, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. And like you said, unfortunately, there is a lot of agents out there who just post properties. Unfortunately, I know that's what we're selling. However, you got to kind of not only post what you're selling, but how you're selling it and how you're selling yourself. Because not only is it the house, but obviously it's the branding. That's not necessarily, unlike a clothing brand where they make the stock. Obviously, estate agents have to get the stock. So you've got to make yourself look like the go-to person, rather than just kind of sell. You've got to kind of give it back a little bit. For example, giving relevant, insightful information all the time, kind of what the property market's doing, but maybe also some interior design trends, because all the people on your social media following aren't always going to be looking for a property. They might have completed with yourself kind of 2-3 months ago, or a couple of years ago, but they're still not ready to move yet. So that's kind of why you shouldn't always push the properties, because you want them to convert with you again rather than unfollow you because all they're seeing is stuff that's not relevant to them anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I think that to a certain extent, people don't like to be sold to all the time. So what they do like is value added services. So when you're reaching out to them and you're saying, listen, I'm not trying to sell you anything, but if you want to present your home best for a viewing, these are 5 top tips on how to do it. Or items like that really sort of add value in terms of the interest that people have. So everybody's nosy in this country, at least. We've got something we can leverage. Everybody loves looking inside other people's houses. We're all mad keen and curious about what the value of our homes may be and how best to present them to other people. And so that sort of content goes down a treat. Agents have two sort of challenges. One is to stay ever present in their mind, but also you've got to make the most of that presentation, because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. And so your services, I mean, we've been using you for a while now, and I know that it makes it easier for an agent to sort of pick up the bare bones of the designs that you provide. You can add your own flourishes to it. So just take us through how your content works.
So what it is obviously you've got completely different parts of the kit, with up to 100 new graphics added every month. So I think already it's about 1,000 on there nearly. Obviously you can access the old ones, but they're constantly being refreshed as well. So for example, there's some stuff that you can use in there, but obviously some of the stuff where it's like property market updates, obviously that's needs to be refreshed all the time. But for £50, which obviously with Kerfuffle at the moment, it's half price for the first 3 months. So you get up to 100 graphics every month. With these graphics, there are the captions already as well. So all you have to do effectively is click on the social media post you want, download and copy the caption. If you want to edit them, you can. That's all done in Canva. So all you literally click is edit in Canva, it brings it up for you. And if you want to say, some people will edit it with put their logo on it, their color scheme. Literally, it's completely free reign. So if you want to edit, you can. If you don't, again, you don't have to.
Okay, we'll just pick up on that for anybody that's been living under a rock in agency world. Canva is your best friend. It's something that you need to jump on. So even if you're really bad at design or you don't necessarily have the time, Canva is a system that basically has everything pre-made, most of its templates, and the beauty of it is that the agent design kit slots straight into Canva, and a lot of their content is designed to be used, and you can modify it in any way that you wish straight into Canva. Put it into your own corporate colors. You can add your logos wherever you wish. If there's a particular angle that you've got on some of the content that they're providing, you can add that onto it as well.
Yeah, and that's the thing that is so good about the kit. You know, if you just kind of want to download and go, great, you've got that option. But if you want to completely change up a graphic, again, you can do that as well. It gives you the complete variety. You know, some people I know use it as more kind of because I know as a graphic designer, it's hard sometimes to get the ideas to actually then make it. So some clients will use it more as a kind of, that's kind of a template of a graphic that I want, but I'm going to completely change it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it literally just depends on how you want to use it. There is other things on there as well, like kits. So we have some kits on kind of the cost of moving, kind of, I think there's some like Instagram stories as well, things like that. There's elements, loads of stock photos, and there's also, which is a great thing as well, which is industry news. So it brings in from like certain places brand new news basically. So it's got like the Guardian on there, I think Ideal Homes on there, so it's got a complete array. So if you're kind of thinking, oh, what am I going to write for my blog this week, just go in there, and obviously it's got all in there for you. And it'll bring everything up and you can go, okay, I really like that, like let's focus on that this week.
And for new users, they're certainly not going to run out quickly. I mean, there's over 700 graphic pieces in there already, and I think you add around 100 every month. And so really any agent using it has got enough to plan for the next 12 months. And you're bringing in relevant content from news sources. So that means that if, I don't know, another stamp duty holiday is announced in a couple of months' time, please, if they do that, then obviously you will then have, there'll be content around that. It's very timely, and agents can sort of use it on the move to show that they've got the finger on the pulse of what's going on.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm doing them, I try and do them kind of every Monday to Friday. Obviously, when things like the Halifax and the nationwide house price indexes come out every month, I do graphics on them, and kind of what they've kind of talked about that month. So obviously that's quite good, because if you're in an area where the market's starting to slow down a bit, but then obviously the nationwide graphics can show that actually it still is, you know, the property market is still really going quite well, then obviously you want to show that to your audiences. And you want to
instills confidence, doesn't it, really, in your client base? Yeah.
Yeah, because I saw something the other day and it was saying how I think it was the Office for National Statistics was saying how, I think it was July, that they saw a little dip it worked out about £10,000 in house prices, but they said that it's not really gonna make a difference. They can already see from like Halifax and nationwide that okay, yes, that was a little bit of a dip, but it's going to go back up because of the shortage of stock.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're still selling your house, it's nothing like you want to, like you said, give these people the confidence. Because if I was selling my house and I saw that, I would be thinking, oh my God, if I'm not going to complete to October, what, you know.
And if you're considering is selling your house, you haven't chosen the agent yet.
Mhm.
I think you're likely to choose an agent that looks like they have an optimistic outlook on the market. So not only do they know what's going on in the market, but their spin is always positive. And even if you know that's just spin or just good marketing, that's what I would want
Yeah.
from somebody selling my house. I would want them to always look at the cup as being half full rather than half empty. And I think that's really what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of say the point of everything that we're doing is to obviously, you know, you want to give that element, like you want to be truthful in everything you're saying and things, but also like you don't want to be saying, oh yeah, the property market's going to be going in the bin in about a year. You know, you don't want to be saying that. Not that I'm saying that's going to happen.
You heard it here first, folks. Get out whilst you still can. So really what you're offering, Emily, at your company is two things. One is what we can see. It's great looking content at your fingertips, basically. But you're also giving these agents the gift of time, because we all know how frustrating it can be to try and run a business, do your viewings, get your vendor feedback in, chase your sales up and do all your sales progression, manage your staff, grab a bite for lunch if you're lucky, doing all of those different things. And you also need to set aside time for social media. And social media is something that you have to work at. You need to get into, you need to make it regular. You need to keep that content coming. And very often in the old days, we all used to have 2 good social media days where we'd really hammered it and then nothing. And then it just, you just leave your audience for 2 weeks. Now, what Facebook shows us is that you're not going to stay in people's feeds for particularly a long time unless you keep dripping content out there, unless you keep in touch with them. And so, you know, Emily and her product are able to give you that time back so that you can then get on and do all the other stuff that you need to do. Emily, for agents that aren't currently using you, let's talk about how they can sort of engage with you and what the pricing and the contract might look like. So it's obviously exceedingly good value for money in terms of what you get, but your contract length, how long is that at the moment?
We don't have any contractual times. We don't have any setup fees. It's literally just the £50 a month. That is it.
And if I wanted to use you today and I wasn't currently using you, and we'll come to postcodes in a minute, but if I wanted to use you in my area and presumably that was free, how quickly can I come on board with you?
So what we would do normally is obviously if you come through Kerfuffle, then obviously I'd get an email to say to give you a call. So I'll drop you an email, or if telephone number's on there, give you a call. Basically, all you do is just go onto the website, click sign up today. Okay, that will give you access to kind of to see what it's about. Obviously, there'll be things like the captions. You won't be able to download anything on there, things like that. But it gives you an idea of what it kind of looks like. Okay. Then I'll obviously reach out to you. Okay, and just say, you know, what area you're looking at, because it is just one agent per town. And then obviously if you're available, if your area was free, I'll say, okay, all you need to do now is just go into your billing. Obviously if you've got any questions, just give us a shout. It literally is that easy. And obviously with Kerfuffle, okay, I'll give you a voucher code, okay, and then it will ask you for a voucher code, and then that's it. Really that simple.
Emily, I'm going to put you on a spot here, and I have not prepared you for this at all, but I know you work on postcode exclusivity, so any agent that's using you can do that in confidence, knowing that they're not just going to switch their laptop on in the morning, open up social media and find that all their competitors in the same postcode are using the same design or the same images. So that that means that agents can buy your product with confidence that they're using an exclusive product for that area, which is fantastic. It also doesn't confuse the public, because very often where public members of the public see agents using the same content, they don't remember who it was that they saw it with sometimes.
And like if I was a consumer, I wouldn't want to be using the same product as the estate agent down the road.
Yeah.
You don't want to be trying to make it out like you are the go-to local property expert when also they're doing the same. And posting the same content, because then you're thinking, well, it doesn't look to the consumer.
It doesn't look good. But so that's the bit I'm putting you on the spot about. Are there particular towns at the moment that you have vacancies for that you'd be keen to talk to agents in those towns? Do you want to give them a shout out now? So we've done some head scratching, and we know that at the moment there's sort of 5 areas, at least 5 areas that you've got some availability in. So if there are any agents out there in either Brighton, Norwich, Scotland, there's good coverage available for Scotland. Wales, there's still some good coverage available there as well, and Devon. So any agents that are situated in those areas want to get in touch with Emily. All her details will be on the Kerfuffle website. It's the best deal that you're going to get at the moment. It's a fantastic deal, and it's a great intro to a fantastic service, which I personally have used, so I can endorse that. It really does. It works. It saves time. It looks good, and clients comment on how our social media stands out. So I can't vouch for it any better than that, Emily. It just so happens that we've used it, and it works, and it's great, and it's great value for money as well. So any agents interested in having a look at the agent design kit, jump on it. It's on kerfuffle.com, and Emily will be happy to speak to you. Emily, thanks for taking the time to talk to us today.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure.